Understand these 16 lost arts of Guanren Shu, and you'll gradually see through people and protect yourself. Have you ever had this experience? You've known someone for a long time, only to realize in the end, you never truly understood them. Or you just started dealing with someone, and something felt off. You couldn't quite pinpoint it, but later you paid the price. Actually, to see through someone doesn't take years, nor does it require going through major hardships. The ancients left behind a method called Guanren Shu. It's said to have been lost for a long time, but today I want to share them with you again. These 16 Guanren Shu principles are not meant to make you paranoid, but to give you an extra pair of eyes in this complex world to suffer less harm. Protecting yourself is never shameful. Are you ready? Let's go through them one by one. First, by listening to how someone speaks, you'll know what kind of circle they live in. Some say, to understand a person, don't look at what they wear, don't look at what they show off, just listen to what they usually say. Have you ever noticed? Some people constantly curse a lot. You might think they're just straightforward, but the truth isn't that simple. Cursing isn't innate, it's a trace of their environment. Someone who constantly swears isn't born rude. It's because they've been immersed in a vulgar circle for a long time. Like pickles. Soak long enough and you pick it up. Language is the window to the soul. Whatever comes out of their mouth, that's what their soul is steeped in. I have a friend. He used to work in a factory. Everyone around him swore. He started doing it too. Later, he switched to a cultural company. At first, he couldn't adapt. He thought his colleagues were too pretentious. But half a year later, if you listen to him again, the cursing was gone. His logic was clearer. Why? The environment changed. So, by listening to someone speak, you can roughly know what kind of path they've walked and what kind of depths they've experienced. This is much more accurate than looking at a business card or job title. Second point, people who like to point at you when they talk have a thorn hidden in their heart. Have you ever met someone like this? You're chatting with them, and as they speak, their finger points at you. Even if they're smiling, don't let your guard down. This isn't a habit, it's an aggressive, instinctive reaction. The finger is an extension of the body. When someone points at you, their subconscious mind wants to control you, to dominate you. These people usually have unstable emotions, harboring a lot of resentment and grievances. They might seem fine normally, but once they truly feel wronged, they won't argue or make a scene. Instead, they'll suddenly fall silent. But look into their eyes. They're as cold as a knife. I know a boss who always liked to point when talking to employees. Everyone thought he just had a short temper. Later, the company faced a crisis. He didn't lose his temper. Instead, he became very quiet. He came to work as usual every day. A month later, he quietly replaced several core employees. Those who were replaced only found out later that he had been keeping a record. So, when you meet such a person, if possible, don't provoke them. It's not out of fear, but to avoid unnecessary trouble. Third point, someone who makes you feel very comfortable. The first time you meet them is on a higher level than you. Have you ever had this experience? You meet a new friend. After a few words, you feel a special connection. It's like you've known each other for ages. You think it's destiny, but the truth might be a bit disheartening. It's not that you're naturally compatible. It's that their emotional intelligence and IQ are both higher than yours. True masters can adapt to anyone. They can quickly understand your rhythm, consider your feelings, and make you unconsciously drop your guard. It's not an act, but an ability. Like playing ping pong, they can always return the ball you hit and make you feel like you had a great game. I have a college classmate. It's been over 10 years since graduation, but everyone still loves to sit with him at gatherings. He's not the richest, nor the most talkative, but he just makes people comfortable. Later, I realized he's the kind of person who makes you feel understood. These people are often much more capable than they appear. So next time you meet someone who makes you feel wonderful, don't just be happy. Also think about why they make you so comfortable. Figure that out, and you'll improve. Fourth, those who don't reject your touch have already accepted you in their heart. The distance between people isn't determined by arm length, but by the heart. Especially for women. If she truly resists you, even if you just lightly touch her arm, she'll instinctively pull away. It's instinct. You can't fake it. Conversely, if you approach them, and they don't flinch or stiffen, but stay naturally relaxed, It means they've already welcomed you into their safe zone. Attitude never lies. The body is more honest than the mouth. I have a buddy. He pursued a girl for half a year. He took her to dinner, gave gifts, sent red packets. He did everything. The girl was polite to him. But once, we were hiking together. He reached out to help her up. She subtly pulled back. I had a bad feeling then, and I was right. Later, the girl told him, "Let's just be friends." The body doesn't lie. That subtle pullback was the answer. So, don't just listen to what people say, observe more. See what their body is saying. If the door is open, it's open. If it's not, it's not. Fifth point. People who constantly say they're leaving often never do. Have you noticed an interesting phenomenon? In the office, those who constantly declare, "I quit," are still sitting there 3 years later. On social media, those who constantly post, saying, "I'm leaving this city," are still in the same place 5 years later. Those who truly want to leave never make a fuss. They will quietly pack their things, quietly complete the procedures, and then disappear without a word. Why? Because making a fuss is about releasing emotions. It's about being asked to stay. It's about finding an excuse to back down. But a true farewell has already been said countless times in their heart. I had a former colleague. He was usually very quiet, never complained. One day, he suddenly submitted his resignation. Everyone was surprised. Later, we found out he had started applying for jobs 6 months prior and had received 3 offers. On the day he left, he just said, "Thank you, everyone," and then never appeared again. So, don't be fooled by those loudmouths. The quieter they are, the more resolute they become. Sixth, people who play on their phones during meals. Their heart isn't with you. The dining table is a transparent stage. A group of people are sitting together, chatting lively. If one person, among them, is looking down at their phone, and occasionally chuckling to themselves, then don't fool yourself. They're not interested in the people around them. A person's heart is where their attention is. His heart is where his attention is. If they're smiling at their phone screen, it means their emotions are invested in what's on the other end of that phone. They don't care about fitting into this dinner, because their heart is elsewhere. I have a friend who always has her phone out during gatherings. She never joins the conversation. At first, we thought she was busy. Later, we found out she was chatting intensely with someone online during that time. Sure enough, not long after, she left our small circle to meet that online friend in person. So, during meals, just observe who's on their phone, and you'll know whose heart isn't truly there. Seventh rule: observe character. See how they treat the weak to gauge their strength. See how they treat the strong. This is a very accurate rule. Does a person have principles? Just observe how he treats those who are weaker than him. For example, waiters, cleaners, security guards, or interns. If he's condescending and always ordering them around, then this person is fundamentally a bully, and their character isn't good. Conversely, to see if someone has true vision, just look at how they treat those stronger than them. If they bow and scrape to their superiors and flatter them excessively, then their vision isn't very broad either. Truly capable people are neither arrogant nor servile to the strong, and gentle and respectful to the weak. I know an entrepreneur worth billions, but every time he eats at the company cafeteria, he thanks the serving staff. Once, he saw an intern being scolded to tears by a supervisor. He walked over and said, "Don't cry, come talk in my office." Later, that intern became his assistant. As for major clients, he never deliberately tries to please them. He negotiates terms when necessary. They know when to say no. Such people are both cultivated and principled. They are worth befriending deeply. Rule number 8. You can see through people, often because you've walked the same path. Have you ever had that moment when you see someone do something foolish, and you instantly see through it, thinking, "How can they be so silly?" But then you realize, when you were young, you did the exact same thing. That's right, you can see through people. Not because you're naturally perceptive, but because you used to be just like that. Those things that make you sensitive, that you instantly recognize, are actually shadows of your past self. When I was young, I was very concerned with appearances. I'd borrow money just to treat others. Later, I suffered greatly and realized that was vanity. So now, whenever I see someone trying to keep up appearances at all costs, I can spot it immediately. It's not that I'm smart, it's that I've been foolish before. So don't get too carried away. Your own accurate Guanren Shu. Sometimes, when you see through others, You are actually seeing through your past self. This is also a form of growth. Rule number 9. True anger is when not a single word is spoken. Many people think anger means slamming tables, breaking cups, or yelling. Wrong. That's just an emotional outburst. True anger is quiet. When a person stops explaining, stops arguing, stops crying, it's not that they've given in. It's that they're exhausted. That string in their heart has snapped. Their tears have dried, and their heart has grown cold. Silence is the most heartless way to say goodbye. I have neighbors. They used to argue so loudly, the whole building could hear them. Then, for a while, their home became incredibly quiet. I thought their relationship had improved. But 3 months later, they divorced. The wife told me when she left, "I don't even want to argue anymore." That's when you truly can't go on. So, don't be afraid if someone argues with you. Be afraid when they can't even be bothered to argue with you. That means you are no longer important. Rule number 10. People who dare to talk about money are often more trustworthy. These days, many people shy away from discussing money, thinking it ruins relationships. But the truth is, those who clarify financial interests right from the start are often honorable, because they know only when money matters are clearly defined can a relationship truly move forward. Conversely, if someone constantly says, "Only feelings, not money," you should be cautious. Such a person is either broke or trying to take advantage of you. Truly capable people who have confidence are not afraid to talk about money because they understand feelings are feelings and money is money. Keeping them separate ensures longevity. I have a business partner. The first time we discussed a project, he put the profit-sharing ratio, liability for breach of contract, and exit mechanisms all into the contract. He went through it with me page by page. At the time, I thought he was too nitpicky. But after 3 years of collaboration, we've never had a single argument. He said, "Get the unpleasant things out of the way first, and everything that follows will be good." So, don't be afraid of those who are upfront about money with you. They are the most reliable people. Rule number 11. People who love to show off often have an empty inner world. Have you noticed a pattern? The more someone lacks something, the more they love to flaunt it. Those who constantly post about their bags, cars, and travels on social media might not actually be rich. Truly wealthy people. Who has time to post on social media every day? People with real capability don't need to prove it with words. They just stand there, and no matter what you say, they remain calm, because they are confident. As for those who constantly say, "I know so and so," or "I own several houses," just listen and don't take it seriously. I had a classmate who, at every gathering, would talk about his new car and new watch. Later, everyone found out the car was rented, and the watch was a high-quality fake. Meanwhile, those classmates who were truly successful, instead, they sit in the corner, quietly sipping tea. They speak only occasionally, but every word hits the mark. So, don't be dazzled by superficial glamour. The quiet, heavy hitter is often the most formidable. Rule number 12. People who can't look you in the eye are hiding something. As you see, don't lie. When someone talks to you, if their gaze shifts, unable to meet your eyes, they're either shy or guilty. Those who can't even steady their gaze often lack confidence and conviction. Conversely, someone who can calmly look you straight in the eye either has strong opinions or has already figured you out completely. Direct eye contact isn't a challenge. It's a form of strength. Someone who dares to look you in the eye while speaking, you should pay extra attention to them. I once interviewed a person. Their resume was impressive, but when they spoke, their eyes kept darting away. I asked them a simple question. He stammered. He wouldn't make eye contact. Later, a background check revealed his work experience was fabricated. The eyes are the windows to the soul. If the windows are shut, there must be a problem inside. So next time you chat with someone, pay attention to their eyes. They hide more truth than their words. Rule number 13. Those who praise you publicly are not necessarily true friends. Everyone likes to hear good things, but you need to distinguish which compliments are sincere and which are just polite talk. People who praise you in public sometimes just go with the flow, not wanting to embarrass you. But those who remind you behind your back, who privately set you straight, are the ones who truly want you to improve. It's not hard to cheer together. What's hard is when you're lonely. Someone pulls you up. The more understated the kindness, the more it's worth cherishing. I have a friend. Every time I spoke on stage, he'd lead the applause from below. I thought he truly supported me. Later, I ran into trouble. I asked him for help, but he made all sorts of excuses. Instead, another person, who rarely praised me, privately transferred me 50,000 yuan, saying, "Use this first, don't worry." From then on, I understood. Applause in good times is worthless. A helping hand in tough times is priceless. Rule number 14. People who can't take a joke are often soft-hearted. Have you ever met someone like that? You make a joke with them, and they take it seriously. Their face changes. You might think they're boring, but they're actually sensitive. The less someone likes to joke, the softer their heart is, and the more they fear hurting others. Because they know, one wrong word could hit someone's sore spot. When you interact with such people, you need to be more thoughtful, to consider their feelings. Caring for their feelings is caring for their entire sense of security. I have a colleague. He never jokes with anyone, nor does he take others' jokes. Everyone thought he was aloof. Once, during a team building event, someone deliberately teased him. He blushed crimson, but said nothing. Later, when I got to know him better, I learned that he was mocked by classmates for stuttering as a child. That's why he was so afraid of jokes. It's not that he lacks humor. He's just afraid humor will turn into hurt. So don't easily say someone can't take a joke. Perhaps he just cares more about others than you do. Rule number 15. How a person acts when alone reveals their true self. When there are many people around, anyone can put on an act. But when alone, you can't pretend. What they do when alone exposes their self-discipline, their interests, their inner world. If someone reads, studies, or exercises when they are alone, then they are likely someone who sets high standards for themselves. If someone scrolls short videos or plays games when alone, and ordering takeout isn't necessarily bad, but you should know that their life might just be like that. I have a cousin who is in his social circle, he was always so positive, constantly posting gym check-ins and reading notes. One time I went to his place and found him alone, slumped on the sofa, playing games all day, takeout boxes piled up on the table. I asked him about his workouts. He said, "Those posts are for you guys to see." So, don't trust social media, trust solitude. How a person spends their time alone is their true life. Rule number 16. After you see through people, still choosing to be kind is true cultivation. The last point, and the most important one, learning these Guanren Shu, is not to make you suspicious or mean-spirited, treating everyone like a thief. Quite the opposite. It's to allow you, after seeing the truth, to still choose gentleness. If you see through someone who is using you, you can choose to distance yourself, but there's no need for revenge. If you see through someone who is lying, you can choose not to expose them, but there's no need to humiliate them. Seeing through people isn't about making you cold-hearted, but about making you clearly kind. I know a senior yuan who has been through decades of ups and downs in business. He's seen all kinds of people, but he never harms anyone, nor does he hold grudges. He said, "I understand everyone, but I choose to forgive those not worth bothering with." That's true wisdom. It's not about failing to see through them, but seeing through them, and still choosing kindness. Protecting yourself is paramount. But if you can protect yourself without causing trouble for others, then you've truly won. Alright, these 16 tips on Guanren Shu conclude here. Which one resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments. Feel free to share your stories. If you found this helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends. Seeing through people isn't about distancing yourself from the world, but about navigating it better. It's about walking through the world with greater understanding,